Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to DC's Titans. This time we're on Season 2, Episode 4, titled Aqualad. So we might meet the Aqualad referenced a couple of episodes ago as being a member of the old original Titans, along with Hawk, Dove, and Wonder Girl. So yeah, last time, Episode 3, we had Ghosts, I believe it was, and we explored very teensy tinily, very briefly what the actual history between the Titans and Deathstroke actually was. We saw a little bit more, tiny bit more explanation between Rose and Slade, her father. She actually sought to kill him as revenge after he killed her brother Jericho. Apparently Jericho fell in with the wrong crowd, and so Deathstroke himself resorted to killing him. So Rose wanted revenge for that, so she went after him once he resurfaced, and then that didn't really go to plan. So he took her eye, and then she wound up on the streets, and then Dick found her, and all that stuff happened. So yeah, and then because of the return of both Doctor Light and Deathstroke, Dick reunited the original, he reunited Donna, Hank, and Dawn at the Titans Tower years after they all disbanded because of the original Deathstroke battle. And they were less than happy to be back. They did really not want to be back, and they were made even sadder by the actual return of Deathstroke himself. Like the way Donna described it, he attacked them all. They limped away. She didn't come back for a round two. All that kind of stuff. So it was clearly traumatic for them. It was clearly quite traumatic for them. So I have no idea how they're gonna go down the Deathstroke versus Titans route now. He told Doctor Light his plan was to kind of put them in crisis and see how they operate, and then kind of isolate the weak and cull the herd and all that kind of stuff. So I think he's actually he knows that he knows that there are actually different members now. He knows there are different members to the team, so he still wants to see how, even if the old ones and the ones he fought before are still there, he wants to see how these new ones operate. Because I think he hasn't actually met Jason before. Jason was the one who announced on the news that the Titans are back, so he knows that that must mean that not only are they back, it's a new roster. So he needs to actually see what these new Titans are like and how to take them out, and whether he needs to take them down or take them out. If he actually needs to kill them, or if he just needs to separate them and set them against one another or do whatever. But yeah, that was that. We had that. We had a very brief and honestly kind of iffily executed fight between the original Titans and Dr. Light at the stadium. It didn't really go too well. Hank was injured. He got away. Dr. Light got away, and then that kind of forced Dick and everyone else to actually reevaluate what they were going to do. So we had that, and then he resurfaced again at the end, and then Jason needed a win. He didn't get dragged along the first time around, so he felt like he needed a win. So he kind of just dragged Gar down to hunting him down themselves, and then he ran into Dr. Light, very nearly took him out, and then Deathstroke showed up, and then Gar, went to chase down his voice, and then saw the blood trail leading away. So he's been kidnapped. Jason has been kidnapped by both Deathstroke and Dr. Light, so that's not going to end well. That is not going to end well. But yeah, that was all of that stuff. And then we saw a bit of backstory on Corey. Her sister Blackfire sent one of the old guards that she slept with way back when to track her down and retrieve her from Earth and bring her back home so that she could take her rightful place on the throne as the Queen of Tamaran. So that was that whole thing, and then we explored some history between them, what their culture is like, what their royalty is like, and then afterwards, after getting a very teary-eyed phone call from Rachel, she decided she was going to stay on Earth. She was actually going to stay on Earth, go back to Titan's Tower, help them out with whatever they needed, and then she didn't send Faraday back if she couldn't, because that would be a death penalty, him returning empty-handed. So she just kept them locked on the ship with about 10 years worth of food. So he'll be fine. 10 years worth of food, he'll be fine. So yeah, so all that stuff. So she's sticking around. So that means the Titans are still around. But they're in crisis now. They're in crisis. They lost one of their members to Deathstroke. So I mean, he's alive still, but he's been kidnapped. So that's still a problem. But yeah, we will see exactly how this stuff actually goes. But yeah, that is it. I am, as of recording this, I am very kind of slightly deaf in this ear right here, so it's I have subtitles on. I have subtitles on, but if I do mishear anything and as a result misinterpret the information, then I do apologize in advance. But I mean, it's what usually happens anyway. I usually kind of either forget something or mishear it still, and then get something wrong. But either way, just like a advanced disclaimer. So yeah. Anyway, episode 4, Aqualad, onto it. This will be the highlight reel. So if you guys want the full length watch along, the full length reaction to see, then that'll be over on Patreon. So you can go check that over there. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So let's go. Oh, damn, right through the eye. Yeah, that's his favorite shot, right through the eye. Oh, a sniper rifle. Damn, he is good. Right before he drinks. Oh, sword through the heart. Ay. Okay.
This one's San Francisco.
Oh, the Titans.
It's an unusual one.
The Titans.
Easy.
This isn't Titan's Tower. What? Does she know? Does she know Deathstroke was...
Don't ever let down our guard.
Oh, she knows about Deathstroke, doesn't she? She knows he was gonna be there. Okay. Is this a Grand Theft mugging? Oh, Robin, yes. There we go, Robin. There we go. Team Titans. Boom. There we go. Ooh. Wonder Girl, where's Wonder Girl? There she is.
You've had enough of a workout?
Aqualad. He looks good. He looks cool. Oh yeah. Start water bending. Yeah. That is cool. Yeah, he looks cool. Yeah, he's like if Thor was Aquaman. Yeah, if Chris Hemsworth was Aquaman. Yeah.
I don't know. I had a question though. What is 22 in fish years? Like 90?
Oh, nice.
Atlantean's got skills.
Atlanteans, yeah.
Not with the ladies.
Anger issues.
Why does he look like the dad from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Oh, it's an octopus cake.
Sorry, I couldn't fit all 90 candles on there. I tried. Great. A Polaroid.
Yeah.
Now 2 things that are older than dirt.
Jesus. Oh. Yeah, that'll be Dr. Light.
You know what the lights out down here? It feels kind of like a cave.
So these two are together 5 years
You like
ago.
it? So the whole Batman thing turns you on?
Oh, jeez.
No.
No, the Robin thing turns on. Yeah.
I don't have time for dating. I've got a lot to do before I leave.
Ah, to the mascara.
The mascara.
It's the mascara. And yes,
Now, why do you want to go back to a place that
Lantern
won't
the
be
mascara.
I don't have a choice.
Oh, Dr. Light's at the bank now. And he's got a crew behind him.
withdrawal.
He's got a crew behind him. No one's questioning this. No one's questioning the whole Gladiator
An
walks into a
explosion at
bank
the bank
joke.
with no explosives.
Muzz?
6 months ago, you begged me to stay in
No,
San
don't.
Francisco,
Diana adopted her.
insisting you deserve time
Her
to
biological mother,
explore
maybe?
your independence from Diana with your
Yeah, this definitely isn't Diana.
indie rock. My exhibit closes in 2 weeks. If you'd like to leave for Themyscira, then I'll make the arrangements.
So what this electric cowboy was after.
So they don't know
Someone should
Dr.
come
Light
through
then.
surveillance of the area.
Oh, they don't know him.
Try to ID our suspect.
Got it.
I'm on it.
Great. We'll meet you guys at home.
Great. Yeah.
Diana said we were too young to drink champagne. So I got this instead. It's our bubbly.
Oh, bubbly.
Pretty slick moves for a 12-year-old.
Forgot how cold the water was that time of year for non-Atlanteans.
It was fine. I wanted to find Nemo.
Oh, believe
Oh,
me,
these guys are
I
cute
remember.
together. They're cute.
Your lips turning blue, but
He gained his powers from a failed experiment with light manipulation where he was badly hurt.
Well, we can't all be Einsteins.
we would know.
Up until yesterday, he was a low-level threat. Turns out he fried a friend of his named Jacob Finlay in order to...
That is a great view. That is a great side window view. Got a bit of city and a bit of... I assume that's ocean. I assume that's water.
I thought Bruce made you read the classics.
It wasn't about power domination or suppressing my emotions. Bruce didn't have me read it.
Sounds like Bruce.
I've been waiting for Donna Troy since I was 12.
So what's a little longer?
Now they're all grown up, they're all Titans, they're all on the same team, and they're in the same tower.
She's pulling you?
She changed her mind. I need to go back to the Mascara. Tonight.
Tonight?
Bullshit. You need more time here.
I thought she said she had
Somebody
6
talk
months,
to her?
or was that what she
Can't
pulled?
talk her
Was
out
it 6
of
months
it.
what she
She's thought
pulled?
it through.
So I guess this is,
Oh, don't. Me and you? No goodbyes.
Jacob's activator is for a laser that was developed to take down nuclear missiles.
Nukes. He's gonna have the power to take down nukes. Oh. Jeez Louise, lemon squeezy. Oh yeah, Team Titan suited up. Yeah. Oh, sugar.
Should have sang to me on my birthday. Might have been your last chance.
Oh crap, no, don't tell me we lose Aqualad. Don't tell me we lost him 5 years earlier. Ooh. Ooh. Oh no, come on Garth, you got this. You can Garth him.
Flank him.
You can Garth him and then tell him he's been Garth. Yeah, come on. There we go. Oh, that theme, the Titan's theme in the background, yeah. Oh, there we go. Bye-bye arc reactor. Uh-huh. Departure at midnight. Oh, damn it. Oh, god damn it. Oh, gosh darn it. Oh, damn. So this is what happens when super people have sex. Yeah, she's cancelling the flight. She's cancelling the flight. She's gonna be boning Aqualad instead. Can't be easy saying having to not say goodbye to your best friend either. Like him and Donna knew each other from childhood. And I think Garth mentioned he did too, like from 12. So
I'm like you, looking for that damn clownfish. I don't give up that easily.
What does this have to do with clownfish?
Nothing.
Not now, Jillian.
I love you, Donna Troy. I always have. And I always will.
Oh, she's staying? Is she staying? Is she staying? Yeah, definitely single. Whoa, no! No! Oh! Deathstroke, you son of a bitch. No! Oh! Oh, Jillian, you beast! You beast. No! Garth got Garthed? Seriously? No! No, that is a piss poor ending. That is actually that is a terrible ending. That is a terrible ending. That is a terrible ending. That is actually a terrible ending. Garth did not deserve to go out like that.
His name is Deathstroke.
Oh, so they hadn't met him before this either. They hadn't met him before either, so why was he targeting Garth?
We're gonna hunt this fucker down and make him pay.
Now's the time.
Be Robin.
Be Batman.
Now be Batman. Now be Batman. Oh, Jesus. 1 week later. Okay, so still 5 years before, but 1 week later.
He's Jericho. Are you guys good? Okay,
This is
We're good.
Jericho.
Thanks.
Oh
Hey, did you see
damn.
that signed Aladdin saying? Come on, it's
Okay.
over by the wall. I'll show you.
Jericho.
Check it
This
out.
is Deathstroke's son. Wait, does he know that? Does he know that Slade's? Oh, he knows. He knows that Slade's son. Oh man, no, Dick. Is this the way you want to go with this? Taking Deathstroke out through his son? That is a risky move for one thing, but for another thing, I don't know. Yeah, so we meet Aqualad. We met Aqualad. So that was not an ending I'm happy with. Aqualad is cool. He's a cool dude, and they just offed him just like that. They offed him just like that. I mean, not just like that. It's not like he died in the first 5 minutes or anything. He actually got a full episode to explore who he was and who he was to the team and everything. So we got that much, but I didn't think he would actually die like that. I didn't think he would die. Least of all, Deathstroke coming for them like that, because I didn't think so. So yeah, so this was the first time they encountered Dr. Light. Before this, they were just normal vigilantes. They were just, they had somewhat established themselves as Titans. They had the whole tower to themselves. They had those resources. They had their own suits. They had established themselves as Titans, but they'd still not really made many big enemies. So this was where they actually met Dr. Light for the first time and took him out, and then they also met Deathstroke. So Deathstroke, I mean, the episode opened with Deathstroke. Getting some contract kills in and stuff like that, taking dudes out and, shooting them out, cutting them out and everything. So he had his own thing going on. And then his next contract was in San Francisco. So I thought, oh, San Francisco, that's where the Titans are. Maybe this is how this is either how he meets them, or this is like a new mission he has to actually get to them, even if he does know them already. So there was that whole thing, but no, he was hunting down Jericho. So Jericho, the guy with the sign language, like the deaf guy, he is Jericho. He is Deathstroke's son. So he was a contract, I think. Or no, I think. Oh, I don't know. No, I don't know. I actually don't know. Would it make sense for his son to be a contract? Because I think he killed his son because he apparently fell in with the wrong crowd. But we didn't see what the wrong crowd was here. Like, we didn't see him with anyone besides from another woman, presumably like a significant other of some kind. So we didn't see him with anyone else besides from her. And even she, I think she must have known about Deathstroke, because as soon as she saw that the blinds were open and the curtain was open, you could see outside. You could see outside. She told him, like, never let your guard down. And she was so, like, she explicitly checked the sidewalk to see if there was anyone standing there, if there were any cars parked there. And by the time she checked it, Deathstroke was gone. So I don't know. I think the contract he received was for Aqualad. For whatever reason, the contract he received must have been for Garth. But then, knowing that it was in San Francisco, he knew that it would also give him the opportunity to check in on Jericho, to actually check in on his son. So then that begs the question of whether he actually really killed his son, or whether it was something else, like his son got caught in the crossfire, or something else happened. But I think that seems to me more like he's actually checking on, because he was in the car, he was in his regular clothes, he didn't have any money, he didn't have a mask, he had the eye patch, and he was literally just looking in. He had the binoculars, but he was just looking in on his son, and then he was gone by the time the other woman got there. So yeah, so I think the contract, for whatever reason, I don't know why he would kill Garth. Like, Garth is literally an Atlantean, or at least half Atlantean. He's not really Deathstroke material, so I don't know. But I mean, he's a Titan. So I don't know. Maybe back then this was someone's idea of culling the herd, or putting them in crisis, take out a member, send them all after Deathstroke, and then he can actually take them off one by one. I don't know, maybe that was that, but he was a contract killer. So he took in assignments, he killed people, he got paid for it. So that worked. But yeah, the original Team Titans. So we had Dick as Robin, we had Hank and Dawn as Hawk and Dove, Donna Troy as Wonder Girl, and Garth something. I mean, is he like Donna? Is he like an adopted son of Arthur Curry? I don't know. Garth Curry. I don't know. But he's Garth. He is Aqualad. He is the sidekick to Aquaman, and I like that. So again, they've established this. I mean, the Titans. I think most of them. I think minus Hank and Dawn, because Hank and Dawn became Hawk and Dove when they were already in their physical prime, and they were grown adults, and then they met up with the and then even when he did it with his brother Donnie, he knew of Batman and Robin. So they joined the Titans much later on. But Dick and Donna and there's presumably Garth too. They all knew each other as kids. Having like being the sidekicks to Batman and Aquaman and Wonder Woman. They all knew each other as kids. They all hung out, stuff like that. So yeah, and even Garth mentioning that he loved Donna since he was 12 years old. He's been waiting for her since he was 12, so that was really cute. I mean, Garth and Donna make a super cute couple. And the chemistry in this episode was very, very visible. Which again, it pisses me off even more that they actually killed him off at the end of it. Like I presumed, like the way, like thinking back to it, the way Jason mentioned Aqualad. Dick never even flinched at his name. Like you'd think, given what happened here, he'd probably flinch a bit remembering Aqualad. Oh yeah, Garth, we lost him back then, and then that kickstarted our entire like duel with Deathstroke. But no, he just jumped straight to clarifying that was the old Titans and this is the new Titans. He never even remembered. He never stopped to remember him. And flinched, like no flashbacks or nothing. Like just like it's almost as if he never died. He just moved on or something. So yeah, I don't know. It just again, it just. I mean. Yeah, like again, he's like a character you'd expect to like actually join, like come back to reunite with them in the future or something. Like he's just I don't know. It just feels wrong having him die, and it was like I thought it would be like it shot him straight through the center of the chest, and then he just started bleeding out everywhere. So it was definitely like a kill shot. But I don't know. Maybe if you take him back to Atlantis, then. Then Arthur or someone can just heal him. Like he's got some cool water bending stuff. I saw him at the beginning. I figured, oh, this must be Aqualad, and then I figured he actually would start controlling the water and everything. He's got a cool suit, a nice like red color scheme along with Donna's Wonder Girl thing. So they had great chemistry, great teamwork in their personal and in their superhero lives. So he had that whole cool kind of waterbending thing going on. That was cool. And so and he doesn't specifically have bracelets like Wonder Girl. I don't think, but he could still block Dr. Light's like light beam with his arms. He could still do that. It took a lot out of him, but he could still do that. So yeah, Aqualad is cool. Yeah, and again, him and Donna make a crazy cute couple. Like they're them two reminiscing over memories. Him having found the clownfish for her, and him remembering the fizzy drink that she used to love drinking, and stuff. The orange one with their bubbles when they couldn't drink champagne as kids or any of that stuff. They drank their bubbles and everything. So it was cool. It was super cool. So that was really fun. And Dick and Donna were together. So. Yes, I mean, I figured that would have been before. I mean, no, yeah, actually, no, it makes more sense because when I think it was when Hank and Dawn became Hawk and Dove, they did actually get together themselves, but then they broke up. Whatever happened. And then Dick mentioned that Donna just probably had like a void in her life that needed filling, so she chose Dick. So them two were together, and Hank expressed little to no kind of negative or hard feelings, so I think it's fairly safe to say that he's okay with it. He seemed okay with it. So yeah, I don't know. So Dick and Donna and Garth, and Dick and Donna were actually in a relationship, but Garth and Donna were kind of on and off again, and especially with the events that Donna were going through, they were currently off again, sort of. Yeah, so Donna had that thing where she was originally encouraged by Jillian to get to try and gain some independence from Diana. So Jillian, I don't know who she is. I thought she might be her mother, like her biological mother, because I think Donna is the daughter of Diana, but she's adopted. She's actually adopted. So I don't know if Jillian. I mean, I could be wrong. Jillian could just be like a guardian of some sort that knows about Earth and about the humans and about Themyscira. So she could be the guide watching Donna while she's away from Themyscira, making sure. I mean, she even said she was actually keeping tabs on her and stuff. So yeah, so she must have just be like a normal human. I mean, she had her own tech. She had her own thing. Like when Deadshot showed up at the airport, and was ready to fire a shot at Donna, she actually threw her own little throwing star and took the bullet out and stuff. So that was cool. Or at least like flung it at him and then it landed on the thing. So yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I think Gillian might just be like a guardian of some sort. That's like that was keeping tabs on her, like waiting to see when she was ready to return. So she had that whole thing where she was trying to gain independence, and then all of a sudden it was time for her to return to Themyscira. I love how they actually name stuff like, you know, like kind of like Garth just kind of taking the piss out of Themyscira. They're like, yes, the mascara. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, so yeah, and I think he had a thing about returning to Atlantis, but he's more. I think that was kind of one of the things that they actually, you know, went to the great point of emphasizing in this episode. They both had different personality types. They both had different things. Like, you know, Donna was all about actually gaining her independence and actually being ready for Themyscira when the time came, and being fierce and being a warrior and doing what she was meant to do. Whereas with Garth, he was a lot more impulsive. He was a lot more spontaneous. He, you know, went wherever the current carried him. He was a lot more adventurous. Yeah, he had that adventurous sense to him. So yes, it was kind of like an opposites attract thing, until the opposites became too opposite for Donna to handle, and she knew that, you know, when the time came, she'd have to go, and she didn't really want to risk being too close with Garth in case the distance and the kind of, you know, departure, you know, killed it for them. So there was that, and then her final night in San Francisco, she ended up sleeping with him, like, you know, for old time's sake maybe, or just like just one final night with him before she actually departs for Themyscira. And then of course Garth finds out. I think yeah, Garth felt misled. Like Garth took the wrong message away from that night in bed. He actually thought that, you know, the fact that she slept with him meant that she was sticking around and stuff. Like, you know, if she chooses me over leaving, then she must be staying. But no, it was actually just one last night with him before she actually left. So yeah, and then of course he runs to the airport, and then he confesses his love to her, and then she runs to him and agrees and stuff like that. And then you just hear the gunshot. As soon as I heard the gunshot, I was like, wait, who's firing guns at the airport? And then I was like, oh crap, it has to be Deathstroke. No one else would be, you know, deadly brave enough to actually, you know, fire off a gunshot at the airport. So, or at least at the hangar. I don't think it was an official airport. It's like a hangar with a private jet. Not an invisible one. So I don't know how that one's going to get into Themyscira. You know, how it's going to get in through the invisible force field and stuff. But no, that didn't happen. So yeah, again, him, that kill shot. I thought she would sense it. Like, if anything, I thought she'd still be wearing her bracelets in some way. So I thought she'd hear the gunshot, spin him around, and then use her bracelets to block it. And then and then maybe they'd fight Deathstroke for a bit. Maybe Deathstroke would try and kill them hand to hand instead of, you know, plan A, shoot them. If that fails, plan B, fight them. So I thought, you know, he'd end up fighting them for a bit, and that would be our introduction to the Titans fighting Deathstroke. And then, you know, and then afterwards he'd actually realize that he couldn't beat them just yet, and then he'd kind of, you know, do a disappearing act, and then that would prompt the Titans to actually start their hunt for Deathstroke, because this guy who's crazy good at fighting, dressed head to toe in, you know, in villain wear, in vigilante wear, like contract killer wear, like he's Deathstroke. He's armored. He's got swords. He's got guns. He's got weapons of all kinds. So he's clearly prepared, and he was clearly sent here for a reason. So that way they start the cyber hunt for Deathstroke and see where he is. But no, they apparently the only way to motivate that kind of a hunt and that kind of an introduction is for him to literally kill off Deathstroke, to kill off Garth. Even it is for Deathstroke to kill Garth. I can't get over the fact that his name is Garth. Like, you know, usually when I hear Garth, I think of the amazing DJ Qualls' hero, DJ Qualls' character from Supernatural, and his iconic phrase, "You just got Garth, haha." But yeah, hearing his name, he doesn't look like Garth. Honestly, when I first saw him, I literally thought, wow, if Aquaman and Thor had a baby, this is what he'd look like. That is literally what my first thought was. If Aquaman and Thor had a baby, Garth would be it. Aqualad would literally be it. He has the hair, the build, the suit, everything. And then they mentioned his name is Garth. Like, I mean, no offense to Garth from Supernatural, but Garth from Titans actually makes Garth sound like a cool name. But again, no offense to Supernatural Garth, he is amazing. He is an angel. I mean, technically he's a werewolf, but still, he's awesome. He's amazing. So yeah, but yeah, Garth, Aqualad, the Aqualad. So yeah, and then so Deathstroke kills Garth. So I think I still can't figure out what reason. I think on the one hand it could just be it could just be an enemy of Garth, like an enemy that Garth had that the Titans didn't have, an enemy that wanted Garth dead, and then sent Deathstroke after him to kill him, or it could be someone else who wanted the Titans dead, but they had the plan that Deathstroke now has. Deathstroke now has the plan to put the Titans in crisis, see how they operate, and then cull the herd. Maybe back then, someone who hated the Titans had that same plan, put them in crisis, like take out one of their players, put them in crisis, see how they operate. But only back then, taking out Garth meant that they would hunt down the shooter, they'd actually comb through the footage and do all their Wayne Tech stuff, and then find out who the shooter was, and then they'd go hunt him down. And he found out, did a biometric scan and found out that it was actually Slade Wilson Deathstroke. I'm surprised he hadn't heard of him, because again, Deathstroke being a Batman-centric villain, I mean, at this point I'm wondering if Deathstroke is somewhat similar to the Titans, and he had to actually find some time and take some time to establish his footing in this universe as a contract killer above all else, or what happened, but I don't know, but Deathstroke killing Garth and killing Garth put him onto their radar. They scanned for him. They found out his name was Deathstroke, and he's called Slade Wilson. And that's when they first forged those plans to hunt him down and take him out. Which, as we know, 5 years later, it didn't work so well. It did not work so well. They walked away limping, and they did not want to return for round 2. So, yeah, that happened. That stuff happened. So yeah, at the end, the very, very final scene was quite more sinister. It was quite more sinister. We saw Jericho. So that guy was Jericho, and he was at a music store buying vinyls. I believe it was buying vinyls, David Bowie vinyls. He's a David Bowie fan, and Dick found him. I naively and stupidly thought that Dick would genuinely just be hunting down vinyls. Maybe he was a vinyl fan, but no. That smile turned ominous, evil, vengeful frown right at the end showed Dick was not there because he was a David Bowie fan. He was there because he knew that Jericho was Deathstroke's son. He knew that Jericho was Deathstroke's son. And that's apparently that's the way he wants to go. He wants to get to Deathstroke through his son. So he actually scanned through his family records. Didn't find Rose, but he found his son. He found Jericho. So yeah, yeah, so he didn't he never mentioned having known Deathstroke. He didn't mention to Rose in the previous episode that he actually knew that he knew Jericho. He never even showed any signs that he knew Jericho. He never showed and he knows the name. Jericho did actually sign his name, and then the woman working there told him, oh, his name's Jericho. So he knows the name. So I think he's just pretending to Rose that he doesn't know, because I don't know. Maybe it was the fact. I don't know. Cause geez. Now I'm wondering if they either killed Jericho in revenge, maybe even accidentally, or maybe they got him killed. Maybe they actually got him killed. So for whatever reason, or however she found out that Jericho dead, she somehow found out that Jericho also died for different reasons, but Dick knows. Really, that it's because him and the team got Jericho involved in their hunt for Deathstroke because they found out that he was their son, and then that got Jericho killed. Maybe because again, thinking back to the previous episode, I can't remember any point in time where Dick either referenced or referenced even facially that Garth was gone or that he knew Jericho. He never mentioned any of that. So. Yeah, so he clearly knows him. He hunted the guy down in a music store, and he, again, that face at the end, he knew that was actually that was Jericho, that he was his son. So he used him to get to Deathstroke. One thing led to another. Whatever happened, and now apparently Deathstroke's now dead. Apparently Jericho's now dead. So. Yeah, whatever they did. So I think maybe that might be why Deathstroke might hold a higher. I mean, he hasn't specifically. I mean, Deathstroke. I mean, on the one hand, Deathstroke hasn't actually specifically mentioned that Jericho's dead because of them, but at the same time, we haven't really seen much of Deathstroke talking about the one piece of speech Deathstroke has shown us this season is explaining to Dr. Light how they're gonna fight the Titans. That's the one piece of information that he's actually given up. We haven't heard him talking about the past in any capacity, so it's honestly up for discussion exactly what happened, and also up for future episodes that we see for us to actually find out what happened. But yeah, he found Jericho. Yes, I mean, I can't help but wonder. I cannot help but wonder if Aqualad might return. Because again, this is a superhero show. In superhero media, whether it's in games, if it's in movies, if it's in TV shows, if it's in whatever else, in comic book media, people who die very rarely stay dead. They always somehow find a way to return, and 9 times out of 10 that lends into the story arc and or the character arc. So I can't help but feel like he might return at some point. Like that might be a thing that happens. I mean, again, he was killed with a bullet straight to the chest, a lethal kill shot that ended up bleeding him out. So the chances are low, but again, I just can't help but feel like it might happen. Or maybe they might stick down the route of that being the member they lost, that being the member whose death, the death of whom prompted them to hunt down Deathstroke and make him pay for what he did, and then that prompted their years-long rivalry and enemyship against Deathstroke. So yeah, I don't know, but we can see that, because from their past, that it was only those 5 members. Is it 5? Hank, Dawn, Donna, Garth, Dick. Yeah, 5 members. Yeah. From those 5 members, they were the original Titans, and then Garth's death happened, and then Deathstroke happened, and then they disbanded. Then they went their separate ways, and then season 1 happened, and now season 2's happening. So it's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. But this episode was very fun. It was very, very cool to see what the original Titans were like and how they operated. And they actually had like a fun combination. Like in terms of a relationship, they had like a fun combination of familial love and also friendly kind of relationships and stuff. Like they were all friends and stuff. They were all best friends. Some of them were boyfriend and girlfriend. So it's nice to see how they mixed. So yeah, it was cool. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this episode. It was a fun one, a fun flashback episode. So looking forward to seeing how this stuff actually even more deeply impacts the future of the Titans and how they move forward from this. And if we get if we get another flashback episode or flashback sequence with the original Titans and Deathstroke again because of what happened in this episode, then all the better for it. So yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this one. So that was Titans Season 2, Episode 4, titled Aqualad. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn a like button. Comment on what you thought of this episode and what you think coming up next time on Titans. Once again, the full-length reaction is going to be over on Patreon, so you can check that out over there. And yeah, that is it. So, I will see you guys next time.